from Alpus Astrology at alpusastrology.com. Thanks for joining me today. So today I'm going to do the second half of April 2019, and I will include the full moon, the second full moon in Libra in a row as well. So I've dubbed this video the big reveal, and it especially applies to the full moon in Libra on the 19th of April this year. I think this is going from the second half of April onwards till the end. There's going to be a lot of things that will be revealed to us that have been previously hidden. All right, so bear that in mind. When we start off on the 9th of April, we have Venus conjuncting Neptune in Pisces. Well, you cannot go wrong with a more romantic relationship. This is just true love. I mean, you know, true romantic love. It can also be agape love or deep, deep compassion. It's a great time to make music, write music, produce beautiful art, and be inspired. It's great. Neptune's all about inspiration, right? So anything to do with beauty and love. We also on the 9th of April have Mercury squaring Pluto that trines the north nodes that in turn sextiles the south nodes of the moon. So this is a pretty strong aspect. Here we're talking about a couple things. Mercury is the way we think and the way we speak. I think this is tied into more about the way we think and how we may have to transform the way we think in order to get on that path of our destiny, and where we may be given opportunities on the 9th of April to let go of some of those past things, people, places that just don't serve us. And with the trine to the north node, that, you know, something comes to light or comes forward to give us an opportunity, or at least give us the indication that, wow, this is a new start for me. I can get on my path of destiny now. And then there's opportunities to let those things that have to go in the past stay in the past. So this, I think, is a triggering transit for the rest of the month. On the 12th of April, we have the transiting moon in Cancer, and it'll be conjuncting the north nodes of destiny that are in Cancer too. So this to me says that there will be some kind of emotional component that will elucidate this destiny path that you're individually as well as collectively meant to be on. Now we're going to have Venus sextiling Saturn at this time too. So this is great. You're going to have opportunities, perhaps even from a woman, a wise woman, that may confer some kind of wise advice for you. It also can be a time where we see relationships take a more serious tone. People may get engaged or married, but Venus also represents our money. So it could be opportunities to invest our money, or to at least have our money grow over time. Saturn is over time as opposed to immediate gratification. We also have Jupiter squaring Mercury. And so this is again having us maybe doubt ourselves, at the very least doubting ourselves. It's to do with our thoughts, and our thoughts being kind of dampened down. So those wonderful optimistic feelings that we were having about moving forward, we just may say, ooh, I'm not sure if I can do that. Just hang in there. This is just going to be a day that you have to get through. And but maybe it could also have you casting your mind back to say, is there something else I need to cover that will help me get on this path that I need to be on, that maybe I've not looked at closely, that I've glossed over? That could also be an opportunity to do that. On the 17th, we have Mercury out of its shadow. Well, this is great news. So this marks the day where Mercury truly is freed up, and we will have the big reveal that I talked about at the beginning of the video. And so this is when everything starts spilling out of the closets. I think we're going to see a lot of things in the collective, you know, either on the news or reading in the newspaper or on the internet. And some of it may actually be unbelievable, because this, you know, Mercury was in Pisces, which is all about dreaming or daydreaming. And so some of these things that come out could be quite dramatic, at the very least. Some secrets that may have been held from us, or just something that maybe we didn't see. Nobody was holding anything from us, that we just weren't able to see because of the fog and the veil around our eyes and our thinking. That's all going to change, where things will become clear. And certainly by the end of the month, you're going to know where you stand. You're going to have the information that you need to move forward. And you're going to be clearer about the people around you, and how important or not important they are for you. We have the full moon, the second full moon in Libra in a row on the 19th of April 2019. And it will be at 4:12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's at 29 degrees Libra 6 minutes. So this is a critical degree, and it's at the end of the sign, so it's saying, whoa, this is all about major culmination. And this is a full moon, which is already culmination, so it's kind of like a double effect here. So certainly our relationships and friendships will be very much in our sights at this time, at this full moon. So you can have things happen before or after the 19th of April. It doesn't have to happen exactly on the 19th. I decided to look up the Sabian Symbol. A lot of astrologers use this book of Sabian Symbols, which is basically every degree of every zodiacal sign and the meaning that it has. I'm going to leave in my notes a reference for those that may want to get this. It's just a great book to read. But when you can relate an actual astrological degree to one of these Sabian symbols, it really gives you a deeper meaning and understanding. So we always round up the degree. So 29 degrees 6 minutes rounds up to 30 degrees of Libra. So that's what you look up in the Sabian symbols. And what this is the 3 mounds of knowledge. So the number 3 symbolizes completion, ties in perfectly with the full moon of completion. It refers to direct experience with society and relationships and cultural values, not the intellectual, theoretical understanding, right? So it's how we experience things in life. So that's tied around this full moon. The full moon is going to then have you ask, what have I learned? Especially through relationships and friendships. But it's all about being real. The sun is in Aries, and it's asking you to focus on your needs as it relates to your friendships and your relationships. Are you expressing yourself successfully in these friendships and relationships? Or are your needs being put aside so that the other person, whether it's a friendship or relationship, dominates this relationship? So these are some things that you're going to be considering and taking your experience that you've had in these relationships and friendships and coming to some conclusion and decision around this full moon in Libra. We're also going to have the moon quincunx Venus, so that says some little difficulties with regards to friendships, relationships, maybe even money. We have the sun conjunct Uranus, and then we have the moon opposite Uranus. So this will be a very emotional, as well as activating inside ourselves, full moon. We have Mercury that is in Aries, so that's all about, I want to do it my way, I want to do it fast, and my way or the highway. And then we have Mars that is in Gemini. So here I would say on this full moon, this would be a good day to have a debate. That's the best way to use this energy. You may have something to say, and I'm not saying don't say it. I'm just saying add a little bit of Libra grace to this thing that you might have to say, and take care with your words. That's all I've got to say about that. We do have Mercury conjuncting Venus conjuncting Chiron, so this will certainly add, you know, it'll take those rough edges off something. So use that energy. And anything that you may hear that may be a little bit jarring, because with Uranus involved, it's going to be unexpected. This will just take off the edge and make it easier to digest, or help the medicine go down, as they say. On the 21st of April, happy Easter for those that celebrate it. On the 24th, we actually have Pluto stationing retrograde. And then the moon in Capricorn goes over Pluto, Saturn, south nodes on the 25th. So mark the 24th and the 25th as a day that will be days that will be very emotional for you, where, yeah, you're going to probably make some decisions of when you're going to be letting go of some things in your past that aren't helping you transform into who you are becoming and what you are to become. That's going to be a day. I didn't mention, but back on the 10th of April, the 10th of April specifically, we have Jupiter stationing retrograde. So this is a month of a number of retrogrades, or the second half anyway of April. So if we look at Jupiter, what it represents higher education, natural law, and foreign people. So we've certainly been seeing some interesting introspective on our higher education system and how it really is, or can be, bought out by people with money to get their kids in. Very sad state of affairs. So that's not going away. Jupiter in this retrograde is going to be here for a number of months. So this is all going to play out and get cleaned up. Jupiter's about the law as well. So there will be some law come in here where this is going to be stopped. And, you know, we may even see people having to be at the hand of the law. And, you know, I wish everybody the best, but this sort of thing cannot be allowed to go on. But individually, we may have a time where we may have to redo some of our grand plans that we had, or we just may be reworking some things. These great ideas that we've had, we may decide that, you know, I'm going to take a few months just to rework this, or get some more, consult with some people that are more knowledgeable before I go forward here. Whatever it is, whatever project or thing that you're working on. I'll give you an example. For me, Jupiter in Sagittarius falls in my 6th house. So the 6th house is your day-to-day work, your habits like eating and exercising. Well, for the past few months, I've been traveling so much that I have not, I'm doing my job, my day-to-day job so much, that I just have not had the real opportunity to put into exercising like I like to do every week, and my diet. I am good with my diet, but I wanted to be better at it. So I'm going to be able to be freed up for the next few weeks to start that up again. So that's just an example of the 6th house. Take a look where Jupiter in Sagittarius falls in, what house it is, because that's the house that you'll get a chance to go back on. Jupiter's all about doing the best thing for you, even if it's retrograde. So it just gives you a nice cushion of going back and maybe redoing something, or having another look at something again to make it better. So let's go back down towards now the end of the month. We actually have Saturn also stationing retrograde at the end of the month on the 30th of April. And at that time, we will have Saturn exactly conjuncting the south nodes. And in turn, it will be exactly opposing the north nodes. Well, this aspect alone is enough to, because it's exact, really mark that time where you say it's time. Saturn's about time. It's time to let go of some of these obligations and responsibilities that no longer belong to me, and to reach out to those things that do belong to you now and in the future. 30th of April. At the same time, we have Moon conjuncting Neptune exactly, and we have Mercury sextiling Mars exactly, and squaring Saturn in the south nodes. So this to me just says there may be some announcements where you personally make an announcement that you're letting go of some of your obligations that you've maybe been holding on to for years that never should have been yours to begin with, that have hampered you on, you know, your road to your destiny. And with this Moon conjuncting Neptune, this just casts a beautiful glow around your emotions and makes you a little dreamy You may even daydream a bit about this new life that you have coming up in front of you, whereby letting go of things that you've been investing in the past that were not good for you, you start daydreaming about how wonderful your life is going to be. Now, you could at the same time have a wake-up call for those people who've not been doing the work and living up to their obligations. Saturn could give you a good kick in the ass. And Saturn says, it's time for you now to take things a little more seriously. So there's going to be those folks that have that as well. But I wish you well with this aspect. It's certainly going to get you where you should be, where you should be going. It'll be clearer to you, especially with that whole Mercury retrograde stopping now. There'll be a lot of clarity towards the end of the month. Okay, so if we look in the sky, and I went out to see this last night, the moon, we've got something called the Da Vinci glow. And this is the sun hitting the Earth atmosphere, you know, with the rays of the sun, and making this glow around the bottom half of the moon. It's just absolutely beautiful. It was actually Da Vinci that actually noted this. He thought it was the sun's reflection or rays on the water, but it was actually the atmosphere, but not so far off. And considering nothing was really known about this 500 years ago, it's amazing that he got as close as he did with, you know, characterizing this. So go out and look at that. That will be in the west, obviously, and around 8:30 p.m. That's what I went out last night to. It was around 8:30 p.m. and it was beautiful. So that's like for the 9th, may see it a bit on the 10th too. Then if we look at dawn, so this will be looking in the east on the 23rd, you will have the moon above Jupiter. So both these things you're going to be able to see. So situate the moon, and then you will be able to see Jupiter, which is just below it. And then on the 25th, you will see that same moon above Saturn, and you'll be able to see Saturn too. So enjoy the evening sky, and then also enjoy the dawn. That's going to be beautiful to see. Both Saturn and Jupiter, Jupiter for sure will be twinkling away for you, and the moon will be very clear. I've gone out a couple times really early in the mornings because of my travel schedule. I sometimes have to be up at 5 a.m. and it's just magical out there in the morning. So maybe rouse yourself up one morning this week and just crawl out of bed and get out to see those, especially the one with the Jupiter, which is on the 23rd. Take care of yourself, everybody. Have a happy Easter. Leave me any comments or questions. I would be delighted to do your chart, of course. Go to elpisastrology.com and my services tab. Take care, everyone. I will see you in May.